Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review for Love is Blind, Season 5, Episode 5. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Share with a friend. Share it on your social medias, honey. Share it with your mom and them. Share it through your text messages. Just share it if you get anything out of the content. Now, child, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. When the episode first opens up, Uche is still in shock that Aaliyah didn't send him a 4-page letter before she left. So he goes back into the men's lounge to tell them that she's gone. So they're all like, sorry, bro. I'm so sorry about that. She should have at least talked to you. Why didn't she talk to you? Now, at this point, he's still not telling Milton about Lydia. So Milton, knowing why she left, goes, well, did y'all argue or anything? Because he's like, bro, just tell him what went on. So he was like, no, I don't understand. I mean, she didn't express any doubts. Is something wrong with you? Don't even answer, honey, because I already know something is wrong with you. So Izzy thinks that she had cold feet. So then he says, well, she did see Lydia get engaged. I mean, maybe that's it, didn't she? So Izzy said, okay, because he's thinking maybe she thought that Lydia was getting engaged to Uche. And child, she wishes. So he then tells the rest of the men, well, you know, me and Lydia, we used to date. So he's still confused as to why Aaliyah left. So he goes out to interview and asks the producers if she got on a plane and went home. So they're like, yeah, she did. So again, he's confused because they were just talking about rings and things, and now she's gone. She's a runner, she's a track star, as she should be. So he wants to have a conversation with her because he can't accept it. Now, him wanting to have a conversation with her, as he told her, is more about him and less about her. He wants to figure out, how the hell did you have the audacity to embarrass me, my poor hairline, and my royal blue Tesla on national television? Are you serious right now? Are you joking, kidding me? It has nothing to do with trying to get her back. Nothing. And if y'all don't think I'm telling the truth, here we go. So the producer was like, okay, so we'll call her and we'll tell her that you're here and you want to talk. So he's like, okay, cool. So they call her. Hello. So baby, she's emotional already. So he was like, what happened? She said, well, I talked to Lydia and we exchanged words. So he said, what exactly did Lydia say? So she basically told him that Lydia told her F you because Aaliyah told Lydia, girl, if he doesn't propose to me, then you can have him back. Okay. If you want him, maybe you can have him back. So he's like, why would you say that? Like, why would you even say that? Oh, okay. And when she would have said F me, that's when Lydia would have gotten an earful. You act like you couldn't live without him. Now you cussing me out? Girl, she would have gotten an earful. Let me just say that. So he asked her why she said that. And Aaliyah said, well, Lydia smothers me. Every time she comes around, she brings you up. Like, I just don't understand it. So now Aaliyah is crying, but honey, Aaliyah might not really be crying because y'all know Aaliyah like to make them noises, but no tears be coming out. So Aaliyah is making noises, okay, saying that she's sorry. And he's like, because of what some girl said? You let some girl come in between us? Really? That's what's going on? It's not just about what some girl said. It's about all of this in its totality. I don't know why he cannot seem to grasp the concept that this is new information and it takes time to process. You and this damn woman had a secret, whether it went through the producers and they told you not to say something or not. It's still a big deal. That woman has purposely been feeding her information, knowing that it would hurt her. And then she continued doing it. A little bit more empathy would be nice. Okay. Now, yes, it does seem like Aaliyah may be a runner and needs to work on facing issues head on because she did the same thing with that ex. She decided to leave the ex instead of telling him, listen, I cheated on you because the stroke was a no. Okay. It wasn't given what had supposed to be gave. Okay. But this is still a lot. And we're not going to gaslight her into this being her fault. Y'all did this to her. So he's telling her that she shouldn't have left without saying anything. She's like, please don't. So he was like, well, how do you feel? How do you feel about me right now? She said, you know, I still love you and I still want to be with you. He's like, well, why aren't you here? First of all, watch your damn tone. Who you talking to? That's number one. Number two, if you want to speak to me, then you will speak to me respectfully. If you want to have a conversation, then we will have a conversation. But I'm not none of your damn defendants or cross-examining or witnesses. I'm not none of them people. Okay. This is not the courtroom. Please do not speak to me in that way. So she's still crying and he's getting more frustrated. She's like, I do love you though, Uche, I do. So he starts to scold her. He's telling her if she loved him, she would have stayed. She would have had a conversation with him. He said, if we can't get through stressful situations, then how would it ever work in a marriage? She said, well, I wouldn't do that in a marriage. He's like, well, if you can't even handle being in the room with someone I used to date, please stop. Please stop. Please stop with the gaslighting. This is not just her losing it because you're at the same dinner party as an ex. That is not what's happening here. The two of them, for whatever reason, got close. She watched and listened to Aaliyah share things about you that she should not have known. Then she threw her experiences with you in her face. It is not the same. That is unfair. That is totally unfair. However, judging from this conversation, Aaliyah, you have some emotional maturity to do. And Uche, she is not the defendant. Take off the lawyer hat and put on the love hat since you so-called love her so much. That's what I'm trying to figure out. So he says that they would never have even gotten to marriage if they can't get through something like this. She's like, well, how do you know when she was at your place, she didn't see an email and apply to be on this show? Honey, I know that's right. Because it's mighty coincidental. And I'm happy that you are putting your detective hat on and seeing through the BS. Because how did this woman know that he was going to be on this show and she just so happened to be on the same show? Child, please. Moving forward. He's like, are you effing kidding me? No, she's not kidding you. She's not. She's trying to figure out how both of y'all got here. And he's like, I have no effing idea. I don't know either. Now she's even more upset. And that makes him feel good. I think he actually gets a kick out of hearing her cry. So he's like, you had one day to sit with her in a room and you chose to go home. No, honey. It was one day of knowing that you were hiding her out in the open. Prior to that, it was many days that she sat in the presence of Lydia, not knowing all this information. And then as soon as she figured it out, now Aaliyah has to listen to Lydia talk about you nonstop. Sir, are you listening? So she's telling him that it's unfair that he's upset because she actually took the chance and took the time to think about her. He's like, yeah, you didn't think about me. She's like, are you thinking about me right now? Honey, and ain't. He's like, you didn't even write me a letter, nothing. So then he goes into his manipulation. I'm so stupid. I knew I would get close to the wrong person. She's like, don't say that. Actually, she got close to the wrong person, Lydia. So she was like, well, if that's how you feel, then maybe we don't need to be talking. He said, no, we're not. We're not going to keep talking. So then she says, can you please not make that decision right now? So he's like, I'm done. I don't ever want to talk to her again. I don't want her phone number. I don't want anything from her. Well, baby, don't threaten her with a good time. See, this is what I mean about him. He had a chance to show her that he could be her safe space when she's scared. Instead, he scolded her and made it about him. And now all of a sudden, it's her damn fault that she chose her instead of being in a toxic situation. I don't see how anyone could root for these two. But if you do, honey, go ahead and continue because it won't be me. He's an emotional bully and she can't regulate her emotions. They are not compatible. They are not. This will be a vicious cycle. I don't see how y'all don't see it. It's been happening since she revealed to him that she cheated 2 years ago. And when he revealed to her that he had a relationship with Lydia prior to the pods, dating, sex, a drive-by, whatever it was, he had something with Lydia prior to this show. When Aaliyah proceeded to get upset, he said, well, why are you upset? I mean, what about me? I mean, how do you think I feel? If y'all can't see that the two of them do not belong together, then I just don't know what to tell you, honey. Now, Aaliyah, you left, yet you don't want him to say that he's done. Girl, say what now? And sir, as I stated before, watch that tone, okay? Watch that tone. The two of you should never speak again. But judging from the previews, you just might. Moving forward. In the next scene, it's time for Lydia and Milton Bradley to meet. So they open up the doors and they had this kind of awkward walk toward each other, but then they started to run up to each other and get to kissing. Y'all know how they like to do. Side note, I do like that height on Milton though. I ain't gonna lie to you. I said, okay, 6'7", give it to him. He said, do I look like you expected? She said, no. He said, what did you expect? Uche, but honey, she ain't gonna say it out loud. So he gives her the ring. Then they go over to the side and they start talking. Milton got activated juice dripping all down the side of his face. He got that activated juice dripping all down. No, I'm just kidding. But he is sweating bullets, honey. So she was asking him how tall he was. He said he's 6'7". She's like, your hands are so big. Oh my gosh, honey. She's ready to see if what they say is true about them big hands and them big feet. And she ain't fooling me. I thought that they were about to get into it right then and there, baby, the way they were carrying on. So Milton was like, I don't really care. I just don't care anymore, what she looks like. Maybe it's the emotional connection that's making her look very good to me. Love is blind for sure. Yeah, right. It's blind because you got your Puerto Rican wife, as you like to call her. Boy, goodbye, good night. 3 couples are on their way to the honeymoon in Mexico. Now, when I heard them say 3, I was like, what? We went through all of that only to get 3 couples. That's probably why y'all only got 10 episodes this season. Seasons prior to this, they got 16 episodes. Houston, we have a problem. And I wish they would release reality TV from the shackles of Mexico. A reality TV show gonna take a trip to Mexico if they don't do nothing else. So we got the Sugar Butts, the Bald and the Beautiful, and Mr. and Mrs. Rock. Let me break it down. The Sugar Butts would be JP and Taylor, okay, or the Mime and Taylor. The Bald and the Beautiful is Izzy and Stacy. And Mr. and Mrs. Rock is Milton Bradley and Lydia. So they get to their rooms because now they're in Mexico and there's a violinist playing. I was like, oh, so romantical. The view is actually stunning. Child, make me want to go on a little vacation. I said, let me find me a bay so I can get down there and get that violinist and that view. Okay. So JP and Taylor, they're in their room and they're talking. So she's telling him that she thought it was awkward and that he didn't like her when they first met and she was crying, but now she feels better. He ain't saying nothing. Now, I think she was fishing for a compliment, but he gave her absolutely nothing. Bruh, speak now or forever hold your peace. Speak. Why don't you say anything ever? So then he kissed her and she's like, your breath smells. And child, this is a fool. All he did was lean back and smile. No, get up and brush them teeth. I would have threw up. I would have thrown up. Oh, child, it be your own breath. Over on the other side, Izzy and Stacy, they're enjoying each other, honey. Nothing to see here yet. Back in Lydia and Milton's room, she's dissecting him like Mr. Potato Head, telling him his ears are small, his head is tiny, he has nice hair, a small face, a big nose, a big mouth. I'm like, dang, girl. Now, I could tell that he was feeling self-conscious because when they zoomed the camera into his face, he looked like he was about to cry. I was like, leave this man alone. So she's telling him that she doesn't like his mustache and she doesn't want him to grow it out. And after that, they just keep kissing. Moving forward. Over with JP and Taylor, they're in the hot tub talking again about how awkward it was. These two have the driest, most awkward conversations that I've ever seen on television. She's trying to pull a conversation together, but it gave boredom. So I went to take a refreshing beverage break. Always Coca-Cola. Now, side note, there has to be nothing to choose from with these people that were on this season if they chose JP and Taylor, because Taylor has to talk and she doesn't have much to say and JP says nothing. So why on earth would we want to continue to watch them? I'm so confused. This is not going to work. They can't even carry on a conversation without a wall between them. So I guess when in doubt, kiss it out. They kiss every time it gets quiet. Let's continue. Moving forward. Stacy and Izzy still having fun. Milton and Lydia are getting steamy in the shower, about to take a trip to Pound Town. Back over with Izzy and Stacy, they're enjoying the hot tub, and we're back to JP and Taylor. My God, today. Why do we keep going back over here? Oh, honey. Still talking about nothing, just kissing to pass the time. Everybody will be getting laid if nothing else, honey. If they don't do nothing else, at least they gonna go down to Pound Town. So it's the next day and they're waking up with each other for the first time. You know how they do those little cams where you see them in the morning, teeth ain't brushed, honey, breath probably hot, those things. Izzy said last night was the best night of his life. Okay, Stacy, put him on to make him want to marry me. Baby, shout out to Rashida. So apparently Stacy clogged the toilet and they're having a good laugh about it. Ew, gross. Okay, not Stacy letting all her walls down, honey. Stacy dropping them Lincoln logs, then clogged up the dang on toilet. That's just nasty. So we're back over here with JP and Taylor. Oh, Lord. Mm, mm, mm. These two are talking about the temperature of the coffee. What is happening? She's worried because she's asking him why he doesn't talk. And he said she can just do the talking. Then he starts saying something about her eyelashes and her makeup is making him not talk. What are you talking about? Now, listen, I'm all for the strong, silent type. But JP is like pulling teeth. This is torture. So she's crying because she's frustrated and thinks she made the wrong decision. Girl, and did. You deserve so much more than him saying absolutely nothing but I pledge allegiance to the flag. Take that damn flag off and all that red, white, and blue and stop letting that be your personality and maybe you would speak. I don't understand why it's so hard to talk to someone that you chose. Back over with Lydia and Milton, they're by the pool, and she's telling him, she freaked out because he does look 24, and he's telling her as he's looking around and he sees all these kids, he's realizing that he don't want none. No time soon. He wants to wait like 10 years. She's like, no, I'm going to be old by then. Yes, you're 24. You should be out enjoying life, not here playing around with Lydia. I don't even know why you on this show, but since you're here, okay. Now, all of the couples are finally meeting. Now, this is where it gets messy, usually. But they ain't really give much. So as soon as Lydia saw Izzy, she gonna say, he is the kind of guy that I would usually go for, but I am deeply in love with Milton. How is he usually the type of guy that you would go for and you was just over there with Uche, who is the polar opposite of Izzy? Girl, you would usually go for anybody. Anybody breathing. If you got 2 eyes, 2 arms, 2 legs, 10 toes, and 10 fingers, you go for them. What are you even saying? Girl, goodbye. So everyone is having fun, throwing their significant other up in the air. It's only 3 couples, child. Everybody having fun except JP and Taylor. So Izzy is like, Lydia is a beautiful girl. She has beautiful hair, but I see that she loves Milton, but he pulls her to the side because he wants to get closure. So he tells her that he cut her off for Johnny, and then Stacy kind of slid in there in the 9th inning, and he wasn't expecting that. Sir, please. You're only saying this because you're seeing Lydia now. Because in that pod, you could not be bothered with her wanting to touch you and wanting to feel you through that wall. Let's just really be very for real. So Lydia is telling him that she, in fact, does love Milton and there are no hard feelings. She's like, I do not hold a grudge against you. I'm cool. Over on the other side, Milton and JP, they're talking and Taylor is talking to Stacy. So Taylor is telling Stacy what she liked about JP was his big demeanor. Girl, what? His big demeanor. Oh, honey, I swear people just string together words. Girl, his big demeanor. Okay. She said now she doesn't feel comfortable with him at all. So Stacy was like, well, I feel like he's more into you than you are into him. Are we sure? Are we sure? Because, honey, I can't tell who is into whom. He don't talk and she's trying, but she just keeps saying, we could put a wall in between us. We could put a wall in between. It's not happening, Taylor. There will be no more walls. Okay, so, either you're going to talk or you're not. So Stacy is telling her if she wants it to work, then she needs to step up. Baby, if you're going to step up, you have to have something to work with. This right here is giving nothing. Absolutely nothing. In the next scene, JP and Taylor, they're over there talking. And she's telling him that the rest of the couples are invested and they are not. So he feels like she wants to leave and he can't fix it. And she's telling him that it should not be this hard. It really shouldn't, because you can't sustain forever not even being able to hold a simple conversation. Talk about anything, the weather, how beautiful it is, how happy you are to be there. Reminisce on what happened in the pods. Talk about your flags and how many stars are on it. Say any damn thing. Just speak. Like you're not saying nothing. Do y'all have anything in common? What exactly did y'all talk about in the pods? Y'all are struggling like it's been 30 years already. This is literally the honeymoon phase. Y'all are on your actual honeymoon. I'm so confused. And that was the end of the episode. What is this? Just what is this? Y'all comment down below if you happen to watch episode 5 already. I'm going to move on into 6 and 7. 6 and 7 may come out on Saturday, so please be on the lookout for that. Please share this one. Don't forget to hit that like button. And I'll be back for 6 and 7. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.